Hello there, welcome to another video here on this Esoteric Circle YouTube channel. My name is Pete Haskins. Welcome and Happy New Year to you wherever you're at on your journey. It's great having you here, and just going to show a little video here to begin with. And this video is from just a few days ago when I was taking a vacation down in Indiana, on the wooded area there at my in-laws, and just a beautiful area which is close to where I was born. And I just kind of want to use that energy from that little clip to kind of springboard into this discussion about karma in the new year. Blessings to you wherever you're at. It's great having you here. Hey there, another video here from Esoteric Circle YouTube channel. Pete Haskins here. I'm here just a few miles from the place where I was born, and it's amazing. My in-laws have this place here. It's a beautiful wooded, almost 90 acres of classified forest here, and I love coming here. Cabins here, absolutely beautiful. This is just after a blizzard. Everything's still just absolutely frozen, and I was walking and just relaxing, and I was just realizing that I have kind of stumbled upon a feeling that this is the place of my origin in more than one way. Physically, right? This is my origin. But spiritually, there's a source calling to source, you know? The sun calls to the sun. And all of our life is really calling us back to that starting point. And everything is new, and everything begins again, and you're in the moment. You're not worrying about your past anymore. You're not worried about the future. You're not haunted by your karma, whether it's inherited spiritually or genetically. You're not haunted by someone else's karma. You're not tangled up in someone else's karma. You're free. You're free to dream and imagine and to accept something new. And this is Christmas Day 2022. And I want to ask you that question. Where are you at on your journey? Is this a new time? Do you feel like there's creativity that is abounding around you and it's swirling around you? And you feel like everything has started over. And you feel like you finally reached the starting point where you can actually live your life and not someone else's. That video was done on Christmas Day, and here we are on New Year's Day. And the question remains, whose life are you leading? And at this point in my life, I just want to share this, that I'm at an amazing place. That leaving the pulpit ministry and kind of venturing out on my own, doing the YouTube and doing this Discord stuff, and just really just jumping into it, and has given me a sense of confidence, and has given me a sense of joy. And I think I found my bliss because I'm now following my own heart, so to speak. I'm following my own spirit. I am being called to spirit. Spirit calls spirit. Sun calls sun, right? I'm being led back, and I'm not being held back by my past, by my father's past, by my mother's past, by my ancestors, by any expectations of my vocation, my job, my family's expectations on me, and the world's expectations on me. I am cutting the ties with all those expectations, and I am allowing the Spirit to breathe through me. And in breathing through me, some miraculous things are happening to me. And I want to share that excitement with you, that this esoteric stuff and this journey that we're all on, you got to stick with it because it works. Christ is, as the Gnostics would say, Christ is that leader that leads us out of this oubliette, this prison that we find ourselves in. And we find ourselves in this prison, but we're awakening this knowledge. That's what the Gnostics believed, this awakening of this knowledge that is accessible to us if we search hard enough. And part of that is getting rid of the karmic burden. Let's talk about that. This book, we're starting this book over January 7th. We're on our Discord channel. We're continuing this study of Gnosis 1. So if you want to get into it, this is toward the end, page 220. Moravia talks about this karmic burden. I just want to read a little bit here. And this is a big deal. Karma is a huge deal, and a couple of you have really expressed this. And this is a new concept for me. So I am exploring this and investigating this, because we're all investigators. We really are investigating. I want to share this with you because this, to me, blew me away. Here I am at 55 years old, and I'm just like, what? So it says, perfect equilibrium of the personality cannot be attained except by the complete neutralization of all karmic consequences. Someone who aspires to liberation, which you and I do, although of good faith, cannot appreciate the nature and importance of this. Born in sin, he can, and in practice does, consider certain aspects of that karma as being human and thus normal, right? Faced with the second threshold, everything that has been learned mechanically loses its force. All the buffers, all the auto-tranquilizers, he says, must be broken and thrown away. All debts must be paid in proper coin. At the same time, the faithful has to rid himself of those illusory and imaginary duties, which sometimes acquire a hypnotic force, and to which a human being attaches real value. This confrontation with oneself generally takes a dramatic course because of the karmic debt which each one of us carries, but this is inevitable. Man must now take stock of all his mental possessions, since until this time the greatest of these possessions were outside his field of observation, somewhere in the archives of his subconsciousness. He will be surprised when constating the contents of that subconsciousness, just what he may discover in there, traces of heroic acts and perhaps the most ignoble crimes as well. Almost done. If he runs away from this monster in which he must recognize himself, this will be the fall, full of the worst dangers. His attitude must be one of attack. Then the personality monster will give way. At that moment, man will become master of himself. This moment is decisive. From now on, strengthened by the victory won, the man's task will be to transfigure his personality. He should convey to it an image of radiant beauty. In the language of the tradition, we can say that at this time the betrothed is adorned with her bridal gown. This done, the betrothed of Christ will be ready to meet the bridegroom. So this is fascinating to me. This journey is a long journey. And one of the scary things is, just like in the Matrix, we realize that we've just been going through life mechanically. Sleepwalking. We've been somnambulists. We've been sleepwalking. And we've really not been living our own life. We're living our life with the expectations of our family, our parents, our job, our society. We're really not thinking for ourselves. You know? One of the things that attracted me to Joseph Campbell was this thing that he said, that interview with Bill Moyers, and he said, you know, in your life, you need to allow the mythology to work and make your life relevant and make the world make sense. And you do that by following your bliss. You know, all these mythologies are here to transform each one of us, not just as a bunch of robots, but each one of us individually, right? Each one of us. So I want to ask you this as you start the new year and you're talking about all this stuff like, who am I? You know, with my karmic burden, what is, and you got to sort all this stuff out. And you think, well, I might as well go drink, or might as well go take some more pills, or might as well go get whatever, get wasted, because I don't want to think anymore. No, face this and ask yourself, what do I want to do? Am I following my bliss? What is my bliss? What's the thing that brings you the greatest joy in your life? You. Not anybody else, but you. Are you following your bliss? All these New Year's resolutions and all that stuff. You know, how many sermons this morning are being preached about New Year's resolutions and all that stuff? But it really comes down to you. And you asking yourself this question, what do I want to do? I'm not talking about being selfish. I'm not talking about leaving your family. I'm not talking about leaving your job. I'm not talking about doing some radical, just knee-jerk reaction, stupid stuff. I'm talking about you and your the thing that brings you joy in your life, you know, that drives you. What brings you joy? What do you really want to do, right? And listen to that. Begin to listen. You know, we talk about prayer, teaching prayer. That's not about a verbal prayer. That's about the act of learning how to listen to God. You have to learn how to listen to God. How are you supposed to listen to God if you can't even listen to yourself? You don't even know what you want because you're too busy doing what this person expects and this job expects and this society expects. And you're so worried about it. And you realize after a while, you're actually in prison in this world. Yeah, maybe the Gnostics were right. Maybe this is an oubliette, and maybe this is a prison, and you are imprisoning yourself by just doing what everyone expects you to do from moment to moment. And you're always worried about what everyone else wants you to do, and you never ask you, what do you want to do? What's your bliss? I would love to have that discussion with you. Where is your bliss? Start of the new year, 2023, because it's going to be interesting. What do you want to do? Where is your bliss? Blessings to you.